I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bug.
You guys are driving around and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light and he happened to be hanging out the window.
Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about murdering Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
After the release of the new Diddy documentary titled The Reckoning, it resulted in rappers reacting, "This Reckoning documentary is crazy, man. Tupac should still be here today." But it also resulted in Tupac's case being reopened and investigated. The news wrote, "The Las Vegas police made notes about 50 Cent's The Reckoning Diddy documentary, where never before heard evidence was shared about Diddy paying $1 million for Tupac's passing. Even before he made this Diddy documentary, he tried exposing Diddy in a post reading. 50 Cent says he doesn't like Diddy because he had Tupac hit.
I hate when they leave me to talk because I always say the wrong thing. I'm saying, last time they left me, I said something about Puffy. You saw that? You saw that clip? Yeah! I gotta stop doing that kind of shit. I've been talking to a therapist to try to help me with the I'm saying. I said crazy shit. No reason. Oh wait, maybe I said it about Puffy because he got Tupac killed.
However, they also brought up a hidden side of Diddy that fans uncovered, explaining that Diddy wanted Tupac gone because he wanted to be him.
Tupac was a shining example of everything that Diddy wanted to be, and he was that naturally. He was charismatic, he was sought after, desired, he was very well liked and a naturally likable person. He was charming, he actually had intrinsic talent, he was a star. He was what Diddy tried to force his way into becoming. Diddy, through force, through manipulation, through fear-mongering, tried to become loved and adored and liked, but all he could manage is like a twisted clone of that he was able to garner through fear. But back to my original point, he thought he triumphed over Tupac by when actually what he did was make Tupac immortal. And by Diddy continuing to live and earn more wealth and, in his mind, earn more adoration, he thought he triumphed. He thought he won overall.
However, 50 Cent said there's more footage that will be released with it announced. 50 Cent says it's not over. More unreleased Diddy footage that didn't make the Netflix documentary is coming to YouTube, including footage about how Diddy started a family with Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Diddy has a daughter named Chance Combs with Sarah Chapman in 2006, who famously dated Tupac in 1995. They were spotted being together on November 18, 1995, when Tupac was photographed with Diddy's baby mama, Sarah Chapman. Diddy described Sarah as being the one. She's his dream girl. So when she got with Tupac, Diddy hated it.
I believe so. I do believe so. I have proved things that I could say that will back up my claim, but this is not for the world to know about. You know what I mean? It's between me and him, and only he knows. So every time he say it didn't happen, or that's the only thing that makes this become an issue to everybody. I was acting. Who gets shot 5 times in acts? Oh, I didn't get shot 5 times in their vision. I only got shot once because they found the bug. The police found him, but now they the cops. Now they doing detective work.
With his first attempt failing, he tried again. During the Diddy trial, it was announced, former cop claims Diddy had Tupac dealt with for $1 million. Suge retaliated, having Biggie dealt with. Diddy is said to have hired Keefe D to handle Tupac, and after Keefe D spent over 20 years walking free, police arrested him and did an interrogation with him. He didn't know he was being recorded, but he admitted to Diddy being the mastermind of the Tupac hit.
On all 4 of those occasions, there's San Diego, Anaheim, Irvine, and Vegas. Which ones do you actually talk to Puffy at?
Every one.
Every one of them. Which of those 4 is it when you talk to him about Tupac?
It was really about both of them. Either one. It was
Tupac and Suge, you mean?
Yeah.
This was followed by Diddy being confronted about Tupac's passing in an awkward interview, as Diddy instantly tries to deny it.
Now, it was this documentary that claimed, which we know wasn't true.
Yeah, check this out. We don't talk about things that are nonsense. We don't even entertain nonsense, my brother. So we're not even gonna go there, with all due respect, but I appreciate you as a journalist asking. Thank you.
Because you listen, 7 years ago, I'd have been like, yo, did you hire somebody? But no, you do it like a journalist.
Yeah, no, I mean, we wouldn't even get into nonsense like that. You know what I'm saying? It's nonsense.
Which we never believed, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
But this doesn't change the fact Keefe D informed the police in his interrogation that Diddy ordered the hit. But the writer who wrote Tupac's biography claimed Tupac wasn't as tough as he portrayed. He said Tupac couldn't defend himself and didn't know how to use a firearm.
Because he died because all these guys sold him this lifestyle idea, but he wasn't it. He couldn't fight. He had no athleticism. He didn't know how to shoot. He didn't He wasn't that guy, but he started to believe it.
He method acted it.
100% method acted it.
But the police investigated further and questioned if someone else was involved. The news wrote, the re-investigation of Tupac's passing is revealing new names and evidence of those involved. New name brought up is Suge Knight. This claim gets a lot more suspicious when you hear what Eminem rapped in an unreleased song 20 years ago. It was only leaked last year where Eminem said, I'm holding Suge responsible for the passing of the two greatest rappers to ever grace the face of this planet. If only Christopher Wallace could talk, he could tell you himself. I'm holding Suge responsible for the passing of Ja Rule or anyone else down with the row. As new police records state, Detective Russell Poole suspected that Knight arranged Tupac's passing before he could exit the label, then framed the rival Blue team to throw off investigators, which makes you question who a famous Blue member is that they wanted to pin the crime on. You quickly realize that Snoop Dogg was the plan, because his file is very interesting with the timing around Tupac's passing. He was supposed to be with Tupac on the night he got targeted, but he wasn't.
With Tupac, though, in regards to Tupac, I heard a story, did you give him different advice that night on where to go?
I didn't give him no advice.
Right.
We wasn't seeing eye to eye.
Right.
So.
Saying during the Tyson.
Yeah, this incident that I'm explaining to you right now was the day before that.
Okay.
So when they got to Vegas, they went their way, I went back. I mean, when we got to LA, they went to Vegas and I went home. That's why I wasn't in the car with them.
The main reason he didn't go is likely due to Tupac and Snoop having an argument in the days prior.
The last time me and Tupac was on the same page, and I did an interview with Angie Martinez, and she asked me how did I feel about Puffy and Biggie, and I told her that I like their music and I want to do music with them. Death Row didn't like that, Tupac didn't like that, so we had a misunderstanding. So on the flight back to LA, I didn't feel comfortable around them for what they had did, as far as I didn't let my security ride with me. So to protect myself and to prevent from happening, I slept under a blanket with the knife and the fork just in case something was to go wrong, but it didn't.
But this happened all within 72 hours of Tupac getting targeted. You have to remember that Snoop was tapped into the streets back in the 90s. Is it possible Snoop avoided Tupac because he knew he was being targeted?
I say a week before he died, we was best of friends. 2 days before he died, I don't think he liked me.
Why?
Because we was in New York, and it happened. New York, they shot at me and did all kind of shit to me, like just the worst you could think of. And I forgave him. And went and did an interview and was asked, how do I feel about Puffy and Biggie? And I was like, I like it. I want to do some music with them. And that just rubbed Cuz the wrong way, like tried to me out at you, and you talking about you want to do a song with it. I wasn't thinking about his emotions. I was thinking about the way I felt at the time. I wasn't into no controversy. I liked his music. They was our friends. We was all friends at one point. There's video footage of all of us hanging out.
However, the physical evidence presented during the Diddy trial reportedly sent chills through the courtroom as Keefe D described how Tupac was taken out at Diddy's request. On September 7th, 1996, Tupac was in Las Vegas with the head of his label, Suge Knight. They attended a Mike Tyson match at the MGM Grand, and after it ended, they spotted an op in the lobby.
Suge Knight and their entourage went to the Mike Tyson at the MGM Grand. Keefe D and his nephew, Orlando Lane Anderson, and 2 of their friends were also there. Keefe D told LAPD Detective Greg Kading more than a decade ago, in a proffer that couldn't be used against him, the shooting was retaliation after Tupac jumped Orlando and beat him up at the casino. Surveillance cameras recorded the fight. Tupac was angry that Lane had stolen his necklace years prior in Compton. Tupac, Suge Knight, and the entourage left the casino quickly.
Security quickly broke up the confrontation between Tupac, Suge Knight, and the rival Blue member named Orlando Anderson. With the altercation going down, Tupac and Suge went back to their hotel and changed before getting ready to go out to the club. Around 11 at night, they jumped into the BMW to head to the club. However, they got pulled up on in the middle of the street.
Knew about Tupac's concert at the Club 662. Members, including Orlando and Keefe D, jumped in their white Cadillac and started cruising the strip looking for the offender. Before long, they finally spotted Tupac's caravan. At the intersection of East Flamingo Boulevard and Koval Lane, the white Cadillac pulled alongside the black BMW with Suge on the driver and Tupac on the passenger seats. The back window of the Cadillac rolled twice in the chest, once in the arm, once in the thigh.
With the case remaining a mystery for 20 years, Keefe D did an interview with DJ Vlad. For an unknown reason, he jumped on the show and instantly began saying how they took out Tupac.
And Bubble Up was the driver, and Baby Lane and Freaky were in the back seat.
We was just all in the car together.
Okay. This was the white Cadillac.
Yeah.
So you guys are driving around, and then you hear these girls say, Tupac, Tupac.
Got to the light. He was going to go drink, and he happened to be hanging out the window. He's hanging out the window like he was in a parade.
Tupac.
Yeah, he was.
So what happens next? You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat.
As it seems like Keefe D wanted to get caught for the crime. However, he tried to make it seem like it was out of self-defense by saying Tupac had a firearm.
You said that as you're driving up towards the BMW, with Suge driving and Tupac in the passenger seat, and you said that Tupac pulled out a...
It looked like he was reaching, yeah. Yeah, it did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you actually...
No, once he got the reaching, I got the ducking.
So someone from your car
started
at Tupac and Suge.
But police records indicate Keefe D is wrong because Tupac didn't have a firearm with him in the car. But we saw an interrogation that Keefe D had with police back when the crime first happened.
Lane starts. You say Suge looks over, he sees you.
Yeah.
He looks right at you.
Yeah, he looks at me.
Okay. When he looks over at you, and then Tupac's busy getting. Evidently, the story is Tupac's trying to either get out of the
back seat or something.
Yeah. What do you see happening inside of their car?
I seen him going Suge head. I thought he was.
So Orlando crossed Dre.
He leaned over on the window. We rolled down the window.
But during the investigation, they found Keefe D's reaction to Tupac's passing.
Yeah, I hate that happened, dog. I really do, man. Cause it took a lot of people's lives, dude. I hate that happen. Probably to God. I feel that was wrong, man. It was just purely wrong. You know what I'm saying? I wish it had never happened. You know what I'm saying? That's my opinion. It never happened, dude.
But the files get weird with many holes in the story, as it makes it seem possible that Tupac could be alive, especially when you find out he was an industry plant.
Well, it turns out when I talked to Tupac's longtime mentor, political mentor, former Black Panther Chokwe Lumumba, who was his first business manager, he's told me, I basically asked, well, was Tupac only pretending to be in order to appeal to gangs and politicize them? And he said yes. And that was part of his thug life agenda that he came up with his imprisoned stepfather, Tupac Shakur. And so Tupac was just using that in order to get the leaders to call peace truces, first in Los Angeles, then throughout California, and then throughout the country. And that was why he was pretending to be this type. And really, he was just an intellectual prodigy.
The plan clearly didn't work as he got targeted on that night for being affiliated with the Red Team. However, there was a 2010 interview with a rapper named Tretch, who used to be close friends with Tupac back in the day. After Tretch's interview, the cameraman forgot to stop recording and put his camera on the floor. But in the footage, you can hear the interviewer ask Tretch about Tupac, and Tretch answers the question like it's normal.
So if you ain't ready for it, get on the sidewalk.
Earl. One last question. Nobody knows. Y'all good? Yeah, we good. Thanks a lot, man. We good. Last time I saw him, he was in Tretch, man.
Tretch made it sound like he saw Tupac just a couple of weeks prior, because you think Tretch would be surprised that someone asked him about the last time he saw someone that passed 14 years earlier. But it got weirder when a video was posted of Tupac supposedly in Cuba.
Zoom in. That's Pop, man. He with the outlaw. And Reg from Holla Back is trying to be friendly and get autographs. Holla Back exclusive, baby. Holla Back.
This created the Tupac is alive in Cuba theory ever since, but it doesn't seem like just a theory anymore. Even Suge Knight claims that Tupac is still alive and well, as he described what it was like in the hospital, with Tupac saying, "When I left that hospital, me and Tupac was laughing and joking. I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad."
I mean, when I left that hospital, me and Pac was laughing and joking. So I don't see how somebody can turn from doing well to doing bad.
So you seriously think that he might still be alive?
I'm gonna tell you this, Pac, you never know.
But police records claim Tupac was in a very deep sleep, so he wouldn't have been able to joke around with Suge. However, it's important to note that Suge Knight didn't say Tupac was alive only once. He's claimed it many times in interviews that Tupac is still here.
So he was conscious on the way to the hospital?
He was conscious on the way to the hospital, he was conscious in the ambulance, he was conscious after they did the surgery.
What was the last thing that he said to you?
They left.
It looked like Suge was telling the truth even more when he was targeted in a club again only 2 weeks after speaking about Tupac being alive. What's crazy is Suge Knight's son would do the same thing. He posted that Tupac was alive and living in Malaysia, but a few days later posted a text conversation saying that people were after him. So he crashed out on Instagram and posted pictures of Tupac with modern celebrities like 50 Cent and Beyonce. On the photo of Tupac and Beyonce, he wrote the caption, "He never left us. They'll be after me soon." Some people believe this was just a publicity stunt for social media clout, but others believe it's real, because Suge Knight would know more than anybody else in the world based on the position he was in with Tupac.